right, guys, welcome back to another Victoria Events with Caleb Shaw. It is Monday, March 7th. We've got a stacked show like always, so let's just jump right into this. These are some friends of mine. They've been on the show before, way back in the old school when we were in the little conference room doing the much smaller, less fancy studio, but nonetheless, their program has grown just like we've grown, and so we're glad to have them back. We got some exciting stuff. So without further ado, young lady, if you wouldn't mind, please introduce yourself, and then we'll get the gentleman.
I am Lindsay Mallory.
Rob Mallory.
And you guys are here for what? Talk to me all about it.
Top Chef Victoria's 14th annual program for the Vine School. They are going to be selling tickets. Well, they're already selling tickets for the Top Chef. And you get to vote on the Top Chef of Victoria, who you think is the Top Chef of Victoria.
So let's back this up a little bit because this is a big deal
yes,
here.
It's a big
people
deal.
Love this Top Chef Day.
Yes.
I know it's a huge hit every time you guys do it. But for somebody, if they didn't catch the last episode or they haven't been to one of these, what is the Top Chef Victoria? What is? Give me all the good stuff about it.
You go in and you try, you sample from all the different chefs. You get a small plate of their food and you sample it, and everybody gets a ticket to be able to vote for the top chef, who they feel is the top chef, and that's picked. And it's a big deal for the chefs who win. It's a fantastic program. It benefits the Vine School, 100% benefits the Vine School, and allows them to be able to do all sorts of cool programs.
And when you say big, like this is big. For one, it's a big fundraiser for the Vine School that really helps them. But also, kind of like you mentioned, the vendors and the chefs and everybody that cook, like they like this as well because they get a large audience. They get to cook for. They get to show off all their awesome treats and stuff. And so this is just a big, huge deal.
It's bragging rights for a year.
There you go. And bragging
Bragging rights
rights
for
are
a year.
important. Big deal there. Who, when we talk about this thing in the Vine School, what is the Vine School? Let's talk a little bit about that and why these fundraisers are important and the support is important to the Vine School.
The Vine School is a school for children with autism. They've now expanded and they have children with dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, and other learning difficulties. And then they've expanded again this year for older children with autism and young adults with autism as well. And they go out and they work in the community and they're learning real learning life skills that they can use to potentially have a job in the future, things that they need to be able to survive in the world without their parents 100% with them. But the Vine School itself is a program for children with autism, and they base on their classroom, number one, age. They have early learner classrooms, and then they have older children classrooms, so school-age classrooms. The early learners are starting at 3.
Wow.
3 years old. To go to the Vine School, you have to have an autism diagnosis. For the Bridge program, you don't.
Got it.
But the Vine School itself requires an autism diagnosis or really close to an autism diagnosis. And there's 6 kids in a classroom. 6 kids and 2 or 3 adults in every classroom.
Wow.
And the children get more individual attention, and it's just an awesome program.
Well, and the Vine School is growing as awareness of autism, and because I would argue that autism is still one of those things that there's still a lot of misunderstandings about it, and just basic, for lack of better terms, ignorance about it. I don't know a ton, and I continue to learn, and through advocates like yourselves and the Vine School catching legs underneath it and continuing to grow and better serve the community, I think it better helps to spread the awareness as well. Can you give me a brief summary, a little bit about kind of summing up for those that may be ignorant or may not understand what autism is? Can you talk just a little bit about that as well and kind of verbalize that a little bit for those that may not understand?
So autism or autism spectrum disorder is a neurological disorder that the diagnostic techniques keep getting better and better, and we're able to identify these kids. And it's, like I said, it's a spectrum disorder. So one kid that you meet with autism has the same issues. You have on one end of the spectrum, you have kids that that are very intelligent, very vocal, and function, but they may not know how to act in social situations. And on the other end, you may have kids that have very limited verbal communication skills, or or know how to act around other people. So if you know one kid with autism, you know one person with autism, and so it's one of those things that we keep getting a better understanding of, and we keep developing new techniques for each kid, because it is about helping each kid and finding their place in the world. And that's, with them launching the Branching Out program this year, that is one of their main goals. It's not only to help these kids find a place in the world and the skills they need to interact and hold jobs and do things like that, but it's also for them to go out to the community and educate our community about what autism spectrum disorder is. And it's not something that needs to be feared or misunderstood. It's something that they need to be accepting of, and there's accommodations we can make so everyone feels like they have their place in the world, because we all belong in this world together.
Man, I no arguments from me. I think that's awesome, and one of the things that I think is neat is how proud the parents are that have children in the Vine School. I haven't met one yet that isn't just cheering for that school and super proud of all they're accomplishing and the growth, and just proud to have their children up there, and have their own school and be able to go and learn and not feel stigmatized or any of those things that come along with it. I think that's so amazing.
Well, as Rob has said, when you're joining the Vine School, you're not sending your child to a school, you're sending them to a new community.
That's awesome. And when you hear the parents speak of a school that way, that's a good thing, because a lot of times the school brag on itself, and that's not an issue. But when you have the parents out doing the bragging, that's totally different to me. And that speaks a lot. So, but let's get back to it. I just want to get all that stuff out on the table. Let's loop all the way back around to the Top Chef now. Tickets are on sale.
Yes.
First off, how can they get the tickets?
You can go to the Vine School Facebook page, and pinned to the top is the link for the website to order the tickets, or you can call the Vine School at 361-212-8463. General admission tickets are $75.
Okay.
They also have table sponsors, and those are $1,750. But you get a table with 8 seats and a private server and preferred seating.
Awesome. I don't want to do math in public, but breaking down that, amongst 8 people, it's not that much. And you can all sit together, have a good table, and all those private amenities. Who wouldn't want a private server and preferred seating? That sounds awesome. What if somebody wants to be a chef in this? Is it too late are the chefs already in?
The chefs are already in.
Okay, you weren't fast enough on that one, huh?
No. We actually have the list.
Outstanding. So very quickly, guys, man, you want to talk about a stacked list here. You got Backdoor Catering, KB's, Clean Plate, Colony Creek, Sarah Vela, Julie McClellan, Sweet as Can Be, Victoria Country Club, and the Quail Pecan House. That sounds pretty good. Again, silent and live auctions. Proceeds benefit all programs at the Vine School. Funds are used for tuition assistance, curriculum, classroom materials, field trips, professional development, and operational expenses. Did I get it all?
Yes.
That's pretty well. This was a good sheet right here. This helped me a ton.
Yes.
Final thoughts. What are we forgetting to tell anybody about this?
The program, the silent auction and everything, it's all fantastic. And like it said, money goes towards scholarships. Part of the money goes towards scholarships for the kids. Over 90% of the students at the Vine School have some scholarship.
Wow. That's incredible. And show up hungry, right?
Yeah.
To this stage, I'm seeing 8 of these people, and I want to eat like all 8 of their food. So show up hungry to this. Get your tickets now. Support the Vine School. They're doing a great job in the community. We thank you guys for being advocates. We thank you for protecting our roads out there and keeping us safe. You've always been just anything we've ever done, you've always been out there rooting for us, so we're happy to cheer you on as well. Anything I'm forgetting before we go to the next guest?
This is the Vine School's biggest fundraiser, and obviously due to COVID, the last couple of years they haven't been able to have it. But I mean, even still, like the community has come out and supported these kids and these families when we've needed it. So for us to be able to come back in person and do this great event, it's going to be a great time, and you definitely don't want to miss out on it.
Outstanding. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming. Make sure you hit the 14th annual Top Chef Victoria. Once again, thanks for all you do to protect us out on the roads. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our next guest.
It's no secret that Americans are always connected to their devices. Phones, tablets, and connected TV devices like Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Reaching consumers through video has never been more complicated. That's why there's now ThriveFuel Every Screen. With every screen, you can reach the right audience on every device at the right time. Target physical addresses using GPS data to serve video ads at scale and with precision. Bring the science of behavioral and demographic targeting to your video campaigns. Every screen combines OTT, CTV, internet pre-roll, and social video all in one place. Make the most of your video marketing strategy with ThriveFuel Every Screen. Available now.
All right, guys, we are back. These are both guests that have been on the show before, but never at the same time. So we're pretty excited to combine two different groups here and make something happen for a cool event. And on that note, I'll just shut up. And for those that didn't see our past episodes, if you wouldn't mind, introduce yourself, and then we'll get to the young lady.
My name is Greg Garrett. I'm with the Museum of the Coastal Bend,
Right.
museum experience educator.
Roger that. A cool museum, by the way.
Very neat.
Yeah, I like that place. And young lady.
I am Sarah Byrd, and I work over at Parks and Rec as the rec coordinator, one of the rec coordinators. I've been there since September, loving every minute of it. Been hitting the ground running. It's been a lot of fun.
You have hit the ground running, and you guys are all over the place, and we're grateful to
Great
it.
department.
I'm excited that you guys are combining worlds here, because when I went over to the Museum of the Coastal Bend, I was blown away. Like, what a cool place. You know, I was kind of upset at myself that it was literally like 2 blocks behind me, and I had never gone there. And then when I walked in, I was like, holy crap, this is a cool place. And it's a little gym we have right here in Victoria,
cool.
and there's you guys, your staff, everybody over there does a wonderful job with it. And so to see a road trip per se, or I'll let you guys describe this because I'm going to butcher it, but I'm excited to see these worlds collide. So talk to me.
Okay, well, I came up with a concept a couple of months ago. Of course, I had to figure out something for spring break. And I'd really like to try to get some inaugural events that we're doing every year to start building on them. So I came up with a concept of Museums in the Park, kind of a spring break tour 2022.
Yes, sir.
What we're going to do is Museum of the Coastal Bend teamed with Parks and Rec, and I, for the record, am super excited for this to be our first collaboration with Parks and Rec also. That's a big thing that's been in my purview since I've gotten here back in January, is building these collaborative moments and these collaborative opportunities with the different organizations in town. So this is an excellent starting point with Parks and Rec. So what we're doing is Museum of the Coastal Bend along with Parks and Rec will be out at a different city park each day. I believe we kick it off at Riverside. We're going to end at Ethel Lee Tracy, so the kids will be able to bring out their swim trunks and stuff.
Nice.
Parks and Rec and Museum of the Coastal Bend will be there each day. We have other organizations that will be joining us throughout the week, so it's kind of a surprise as to who will be there when you show up at the park. Like, we've got the fire department coming out on the last day, bringing out the fire truck. VPL is going to be there a couple days. We've got Children's Discovery Museum and Liz are going to show up with some stuff, we hope. Talking to Futures Academy, YMCA, Boys and Girls Club. So we're trying to get a bunch of different organizations to show up on random days with us during the 14th through the 18th of March. A lot of activities. Everything is going to be free. Basically what my concept was is not everybody is always able to make it to a brick and mortar. So we wanted to take the brick and mortar out to the communities and give those people an opportunity, whether it's economics, transportation, child care, whatever it may be that's keeping you from visiting the museum at its brick and mortar spot. We want you to come out to the park and see a few of the things that we have to offer. If you can't get to our brick and mortar, this gives you a great opportunity to come out and meet us, meet a few of the other organizations that are here in town, and just have fun. There's not going to be any themes. I'm wanting the organizations to show up with activities to have these kids active. This is the first spring break in a couple of years where they're really going to get to enjoy a true spring break.
Right.
And they're not worried about getting out into crowds and getting out into different things. So we really look for this to be a inaugural event that grows into something that becomes an annual event and just kind of grows with the community and different organizations.
Well, I love that you're getting outside for one. Like that's always, you hardly ever see kids outside anymore, and everybody's inside. And I remember when I was growing up, you could always you knew where the party was because there was like 14 bikes parked out in front of somebody's house, and you always knew where things were going on. And you know, a lot of times, for whatever, it's hot, it's humid, it's whatever, but you just don't see that much anymore. And so the fact that you guys are getting this outside, I think is awesome. And for those that were stubborn like myself and who actually never did go to that brick and mortar location, this is a soft transition into that where you don't have to go to the, you know, again, this is one of those ignorant things, like young, ignorant me, like, I'm not going to the museum. God, I was wrong. I was totally wrong about that. Like, it's so cool, but to bridge that gap and you guys get out there and kind of bring it to them outside and you know, they're not going to get structured to death when they get over there. It's going to be, have fun. Exactly. Enjoy yourself.
Geared towards kids.
Spring break. Like, yes. I love the concept. And again, Sarah, you've just been hitting it hard since you got there, and so to see this collaboration, again, I'm kind of like a little nerd. I'm like so excited with this. This is a cool thing.
Really excited. When Greg came and reached out, you know, there was a lot of moving parts, a lot of ideas, just trying to kind of hammer down those details and figure out exactly what we want this to look like. How do we also get the information out to the public? You know, if you go out to the parks right now, I believe Hopkins Park, Ethel Tracy, there's Riverside Children's Park,
Ted B. Reed,
and Lone Tree, not to be confused with, like, a lot of people get a little confused with where Lone Tree Park is.
Okay.
It's on Airline. A lot of people are like, where's Lone Tree Park? It's not on Lone Tree. No, and I honestly, I never knew that was actually called Lone Tree Park. It's where the Airline splash pad is. And the reason it's called Lone Tree Park is because there's one tree. There's one lone
Literally
tree.
Is one
and
lone
so, you
tree.
know, like,
so it's actually a pretty good name,
it's a
although
good name.
Still confusing.
It's slightly confusing. So to clarify where that location actually is, and you know, there's not a ton to do at that location except for the splash pad, but we're trying to really hone in on these different parks, you know, public parks, city parks, and really bring some people outside. You know, spring break is really that initial time to kind of kick off the outdoors. You know, hibernation is pretty much over. Everyone's done being indoors. Everyone's done with the winter season. Especially in South Texas, you know, like we've been outdoors for a while now with this beautiful weather on and off. It's like, I've been telling everybody the South Texas weather is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
You're so spot on with that.
So, you know, we're hoping and really praying for that good weather. I think we're gonna get some really good activities going. And I will say, splash pads are like a box of chocolates as well. You never know what you're going to get. Our parks department has been really working hard and hitting it hard. You know, there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to splash pads. They do a wonderful job with the maintenance. However, you know, over the years,
things break,
things rust. Unfortunately, you know. And it's one of those things where we're hoping to get those splash pads open. And you know, there have been some parts ordered. So regardless of if those are open too, so bring your swimsuits out as contingency, just in case, you know, that we get those doors open. They will be open soon though. We're hoping to kick that off there too, that week with the splash pads. But you know, we will have something there for the kids, and there's gonna be something for all. You know, some kids are more geared towards this than that, and I really am excited about really opening the door to all different.
Well, that's what I was going to say. What age groups is there a particular age group? Or you just,
honestly, I will say that the booth that I'm bringing, it's what can you find in the park? Just as an example, there's going to be inspect the insects. There's going to be talking about tracks with animals. You can make your own track. Like, there's just going to be a lot of moving parts with that. I know that Children's Discovery Museum is wonderful about really engaging everyone in whatever activity they're doing. It's a family affair. The zoo, and I know that I'm trying to think of who else we have coming.
We've got YMCA. They're going to maybe bring the steam bus. We're trying to get this. They're trying to do a new driver, training a new driver. So
what's the
it's
steam bus?
Definitely a family.
Oh, that big giant.
Yeah,
we need to get spun up on that. I thought it might be something I could drive.
I talked to JT Munoz, and he said that they're going to show up for a couple days even if they don't have the bus. So
awesome.
They're wonderful.
Awesome.
And
we're
so
gonna have stuff to
definitely
do.
a family affair for all ages. So definitely excited about that. So if you have heard about this, but you don't have kids, come out. Bring your dog, bring your animals. I mean, there's going to be something for you to see, to do, to have a takeaway. There's going to be something for you to enjoy, and just being outdoors and enjoying our city parks is something. Come out if you've never really walked around Lone Tree Park, and maybe you've gone to the splash pad. You don't have any kids. You took your niece or nephew there. come out. We're going to have something in the soccer fields. We're going to have something in the area. You know, if you've never been to Etheley Tracy, you've only heard about it, come out, come see the park, enjoy some activities that we're bringing to the table. And yeah, it's going to be really cool that whole week. I'm really excited. I'm a little nervous. I'm like, yeah, we're kind of bringing it to this 2-hour time frame of what, 10 to 12?
10 to 12, yeah.
I'm like, we're not going to want to leave though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be,
the party's going.
depending on the weather,
Let it
we're like,
ride.
we're not going to want to leave. And so, but
that
you
sounds
know,
like a great problem to have, though.
But you know
Yes.
what? With it being the inaugural, if it's 10 to 12 and we're just high volume and we're having a crack,
you know,
Let it ride. Yep, let it
Yeah.
ride. I'm
and
with
next
you.
year we'll definitely go 10 to 2.
Yeah, no,
if
I'm
that's
with
the
you.
case,
So,
you know,
yeah,
this is
set the
definitely
bar.
one of those
It's
new
our inaugural
events.
event, so we're still going to be collecting data and figuring it out. And another thing, if there's people out here that happen to see this that are traveling through Victoria, that may be traveling from Corpus up to Houston or Houston to Corpus on 59, stop by one of the parks and check out the parks. It's not only going to give you a chance to see one of the Victoria parks, it's going to give you a chance to see a few of the different places that you can visit in Victoria too.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Along with the activities, there's information
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
definitely going to be given out.
if
Find some of these
If you happen to
hidden
catch
gems.
this thing and you're just going to be commuting through that week at some point,
Hit us up.
Stop
you're
in.
here 10 to 12. Find where we're at.
Where can
Check
they
us
track
out.
this information? Where can they look all this up? Where can they keep following this?
You go first to Parks and Rec. 'cause I think
So
we got a
Parks and Rec
couple.
has our website, and you can go to victoriatx.gov.
Okay.
You know, then you can hit up Parks and Rec within that realm. It's all over our page, and I mean,
Is it on the Facebook page also?
It's on the Facebook page.
Okay.
We have flyers going out. You know, I mean, along with all the other stuff we have going on, this is one of the things that we're super excited about. We got toddlers on the trail. We got bunko for seniors coming up. We got all kinds of stuff. But this is something that I've been working on, and I'm like getting stuff going. And so yeah, you can find it on the website, and along with a bunch of other stuff we got going on. So really
I think
excited
I
about
have
this
finally
week.
found somebody that matches my energy.
I like it, man.
passion,
You get
and
the
I'm
three of
loving
us
it,
up
man.
here. Like we need
yeah.
to just
Digging
extend the
it.
whole show because we're already past
digging it.
time and we're still
Snowballing,
going.
yeah, out of control,
Uh,
sorry.
Is it on the Museum of the Coastal Bend Facebook
Yeah,
page also?
museumofthecoastalbend.org.
Okay.
Museum of the Coastal Bend Facebook page. We've got yard signs around town at the parks. Sarah went out and put a few yard signs out. We've got posters that are going to be around town. So just keep an eye out. If you need to contact me, Gregory Garrett at victoriacollege.edu.
Roger that.
Give me a holler, 582-582-2559, 582-2559.
There you go.
Getting used to my phone number. But yeah, give me a call, answer any questions you have. We're really looking forward to it. We'd love to see a big turnout from the community, especially that community that's around each of those neighborhood parks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's kind of was my goal, was to pull that neighborhood into that park and really turn that park into something that the neighborhood owns.
Yes,
and
sir.
I know that's what Parks and Rec
No,
wants
for
to
sure.
see,
I
you
mean,
know?
there's so many neighborhoods. I mean, that's what I really liked. You know, especially Hopkins Park. We got Hopkins Park on, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday. Really excited about having those the people surrounding that park be able to walk to something. You know, you don't have to get in your car and drive somewhere. You don't have to, and you don't have to pay for anything either.
Yeah,
And
no.
so it's just an easy way for you to get your kids and engage with your kids and do stuff, and or just, you know, if you need a break and you want to just like sit on a park bench and watch your kid go through all of this really fun activities and you know, engagement. I mean, that's the way to do it. You know,
Perfect.
just really being able to socialize and fellowship with each other and experience a ton of different elements from our town, from our city, from our space and community, who really just want to love on our community and give them an opportunity to see what we're all about.
Well, I can tell you guys are excited. It makes me excited. We get excited. We talk right past our time, so I gotta shut us down. Yeah, we're late.
I'm
We
not
gotta go.
facing it.
But you guys did great. I'm excited about the collaboration. I look forward to seeing it in the future. We'll be right back with our last guest.
Since 1932, Wallach & Volk has been closing mortgages and doing it the right way. The reason why the Volks opened up a bank at the height of the Great Depression was because the bank needed to be opened at the height of the Great Depression. And it was good for the community at that time. A lot of the banks were going under. In order to keep that community sound and stable, it was something that they did. I think that says something about who Wallach & Volk was 85 years ago. And the only way you get to continue to do it is if you consistently do it great. And we plan on doing this for another 85 years.
Marketing today can be complex. Emails, customer relationship management, lead tracking, landing pages, and text messaging. But what if you could do it all with just one tool? And what if there was an agency behind the solution that could do it with you? Or better yet, do it for you. Introducing ThriveFuel 360, the new do-it-for-you digital marketing solution. Drive leads, nurture prospects, automate follow-up, connect with your audience, and book appointments all in one place. ThriveFuel 360.
It's Cayman Furniture's annual President's Day sale. Hi, I'm Bentley Cayman, and it's happening right now, up to 65% off on all furniture. Plus, up to 5 years of no money down and no interest.
And you thought I was kidding? Buy today, and we'll have it in your home tonight.
All right, guys, we are back with our last guest. She's trying really hard to distract me, but I'm a professional, and I'm not going to allow it to happen today. And so she's distracted me already. Young lady, introduce yourself if you wouldn't mind, and tell them who you're with.
Yes, my name is Monica Iscaro, and I'm the Community Outreach Specialist with Victoria College.
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for coming on. Just in our brief conversation before we went on air here, I've already learned a lot from you, and I'm really excited, and there's multiple things I want to talk about while I have you sitting here. But
definitely.
First, let's start with this class that you guys have coming up, because this is the actual reason that you came on. But then I kind of want to get into all the other stuff. But you guys have a business, technology, and industrial trades career showcase. There, I got it all out.
Yes.
Talk to me about this. It's March 10th, and let's talk about this one first.
Yeah, definitely. So I know that was a mouthful, but that's because of all what we offer at VC. And so it's going to be taking place, like you said, March 10th from 4 to 6 p.m. It will be a come and go event, and it's just an opportunity for VC to showcase all what we offer under those 3 that were just listed.
And when I started looking up here, under the business, technology, and industrial trades courses, you guys have a ton of stuff. And and for those that don't know, I also own a real estate company, and one of the things that we struggle with is finding good contractors all the time. We need electricians, we need plumbers, we need roofers, we need all these different trades. And I know for a long time there was almost a stigma of, you go to college and you go get your 4-year degree, maybe go to grad school, whatever. But we didn't talk a lot of the times about going to become a plumber or an electrician and some of these great trade career fields where, people talk trash, but these plumbers are making $75 to $99 an hour. These electricians are, and they're always in need. There's if you try to go call a plumber right now or an electrician, you're going to get put on a waiting list, and you're going to hope that they can make it there by the time you need them, because there's a huge demand and the supply has not been met yet. And so I look at these different programs where you all have these. Talk to me a little bit about these, because you don't have to go be a college student. You don't have to sign up if you haven't gone to college before. You don't have to go take your basics. You don't have to do any of that to get into these trade programs. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely, Caleb. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's the beauty of Victoria College. Is it's not just your 4-year institution. You can get a trade as little as 6 weeks. Our truck driving program, like you said, there's always a need for all the ones that you had just listed. Takes as little as 6 weeks. So a lot of people are on a time crunch. They don't have the financial means, and they're like, I want to get an education, but I don't have 4 years to invest. So we offer things like electrical, instrumentation, power line worker, welding, business management, computer information systems, and networking to work in the cloud. So all of these we offer because we see that there's a need in the Golden Crescent area for those jobs.
And there absolutely is. I mean, there's a huge need. My parents own my sister now owns, I'm very proud of her. She
Congrats.
owns a power line construction company, and a lot of times they're hiring from way out, east or west, and having to get these people from other communities, because we just don't have a lot in ours. And when things like hurricanes hit or bad weather or even hard freezes, power goes out, and those power line workers are studs that go out there and I know during Harvey, you had guys, their bucket trucks were parked halfway up in water, and they're going up there with about 10,000 mosquitoes on them, and it was nasty, gross weather, and they're out there busting their butts 15, 16-hour days, sleeping under their trucks when they weren't underwater, and getting a little window of sleep and getting right back up on a pole and trying to restore power to the community and stuff. And so many of them, though, have to get trained on the job. They don't. They walk in and they have the work ethic. They want to work, but they don't know anything about those career fields or how to even segue into them.
Yeah.
This is huge. Like, I think this is such a great program here. And do you all work with, because sometimes high school students can sometimes kind of dual credit or stuff like that, where they can be going to high school, but also working on a career from when they graduate as well.
Yeah, we
also.
definitely offer dual credit to all of our high schools in the area and then the 7 counties that we service. So we have that opportunity for all of our high school students, whether they count it on the high school side, that's up to their high schools, but we have students starting as early as their freshman year to get these college credits so that they have some sort of credential by the time they graduate so they can be ready for the workforce as soon as they get their high school diploma.
Outstanding. How do these classes run kind of schedule-wise? Are they on a kind of rotate? Do they follow the school schedule?
Yeah, so it just depends. So for our industrial trades in specific, like truck driving, it's every 6 weeks consecutively.
Okay.
For our electrical, they'll have levels 1, 2, 3, and 4, and level 1 is just about to start this upcoming September, but you'll have to take like a core and NCCER class for safety prior to taking most of these courses.
And it's each one 6 weeks?
So the truck driving, I said 6 weeks are shortest. Electrical and so on will take at least a semester, so anywhere from 14 to 16 weeks, but then you have that level 1 out of the way and that certificate. A lot of our, I'll use electrical for example, we have 4 levels. A lot of our students just go with level 1 and then they're able to get a job immediately after level 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What if, somebody like myself, like I love my electrician, cool guy, I really do like him. But it'd be nice to just kind of fix my own stuff sometimes and what have you. What if I just, I didn't necessarily want to go and be an electrician, but I wanted to have this skill set or be able to work at my own home and feel confident in what I'm doing. Could I just come take one of these classes?
Yes, definitely. So like you said, you own retail, right? Or not retail?
A real estate shop.
Real estate.
Yes, ma'am.
So of course that's a lot of moving parts. So if you don't want to pay for that labor part of it and you want to learn on your own, definitely an investment. For you to even go to school, get that education so that you're not have the fear of, I'm going to electrocute myself, I don't know what I'm doing. But that's the really neat thing about VC is a lot of our programs that we offer, people who are hiring and know that you got your credentials from VC, they know you're ready to get on the job.
Well, even before I moved here, I always heard that VC was a tough college, but because it was good.
Yes.
And it carried weight when you got out of there. People knew that you made it through the VC college course, that you made it through, and you earned that. How often, roughly, and I know probably every class is different, but using the electrical one again, how often per week is the time commitment weekly?
So weekly, so for most of our industrial trades credentials, that'll take anywhere for every, let's say Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 10 p.m.
Okay.
So a really neat thing about this too is a lot of people have jobs. They have an 8 to 5, they really can't step away from their work schedule, but if they can make time in the afternoon to commit to this, then they can also get that education while also being a full-time employee.
Got it. I think this is phenomenal. I'd like to, in fact, maybe even talk to you guys about with our Meet Victoria show coming on and maybe highlighting on campus some of these things, because again, I just, you get it drilled inside your head from the time you're, go to college, go to college, go to college. And that's great for some people, but not everybody is for college. I have my degree hanging on my wall for criminal justice, and then here I am with a real estate company and these shows.
And it's so funny you say that because a lot of people think college isn't for everyone, but that's why we emphasize Victoria College is for everyone, because you can get that associate's degree, and if your end goal is to get a bachelor's, we can help you with that. But if you're like, I don't have the time to commit 4 years, but I want to get an education, we have those for you as well.
I think that's spectacular. Last question, do these let's say I just started taking these classes, hypothetically, and do they have any college credit to them, or are these 2 completely separate programs?
Yeah, so some of these, like you'll see like the business and technology that has more of the academic side of, you get those college credits where you could potentially transfer them out. Like if you took an English or a COSC class, you could transfer that over. For more of our industrial trades programs, it stays within Victoria College.
No, that makes total sense. Makes total sense. I get so excited. I've talked away all your time. Let's loop all the way back around real quick to this showcase. Now that we kind of broke down the individuals, one more time, kind of what can they expect when they show up? What is it informational? What can they expect when they walk in?
Yeah, so when they walk in, again, it's from 4 to 6, a come and go event. They will have all of these that are listed on the back showcase, so it's going to be an opportunity to see them demonstrating. I know one of these, they actually have a class going on, so they may be able to talk to some current students. We'll have advisors there that'll walk them, kind of navigate them through what it is that they're most interested in, and then again, they'll just have demos and an opportunity to really ask those questions if they're on the fence about something, to learn a little bit more before they actually register for classes.
Wonderful. Where can they find all this information, and if they have any questions, who can they reach out to or ask?
Yes, so if you want to know more about the event, we have it on our Victoria College website, posted on our VC Facebook page, as well as if you have any other questions, you can contact me directly at monica.hisquierdo, HYSQUIERDO at victoriacollege.edu, and I'd be more than happy to help answer any questions.
I appreciate you spelling that, because that would have been my next thing.
Yeah.
You did phenomenal. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Had a ton of fun.
Yes.
Guys, make sure you get out and you support all these events. Take advantage of these things. You know, there's a demand, and if you've thought about it, get out there and make it happen, because this is awesome. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Great show. Visit our sponsors, and we will see you next week. Thanks so much for tuning in to Victoria Events with Caleb Shaw. Make sure you comment down below, like the post, share the post. It really helps the algorithms. If you haven't done so already, make sure you follow our page. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any episodes. And if you have an event coming on you want featured on Victoria Events, shoot us a message. We'd love to help you get the word out there. Lastly, make sure you support our sponsors. We could not do this show without them, so we're very grateful. Thanks so much, Victoria, and we'll see you at the next one.